I feel alive. I want to paint. When you're an artist, you're supposed to actually try and find who you are and to stay in that high state of you at your best. I think this is just an amazing process to actually understand who you are. So going through these exercises could actually reveal that for you. The best way to work with your contents is to work with them integrally, like as in listen to what they got to say, look at them, let them come out. Don't try and squash them with your intellect all the time. Oh, I gotta make this a good painting. None of that. Let this stuff roll. Let it come out as it comes out. Trust it. Doesn't mean it's going to dictate your life and tell you what to do. You just got to let it come out. It will surprise you because it isn't a product of your intellect. Pretty much like a product of your emotions, fooling around with your intellect in there, right? So out it comes. Out. Purge. Stop being silly. I know some of you are going to be looking at this mess and wondering what on earth comes out of all this. And I wanted to show you something. This is like a little sneaky treat to try and keep you motivated with what you're doing right now. Don't forget, I did say that don't make it into a painting, but this can actually happen, but later. So it's the result of it. It's trusting what's bubbling up from you. It's all part of soul making. The whole thing about working in the Jungian method is that you trust the contents. It's trusting them coming up as they are. Just let them live. Just let them come up. Let the stuff live. It's like allowing your dreams to emerge. It's very much a Jungian method, but you don't have to be Jung to get it. I mean, people have been using this in their cultures like for thousands of years, but it generally gets turned to do like, images of the supernatural and things like that. So it moves out of the body and it goes off into the mystic land. And keep it out of the intellect or it'll freeze and lock up. That's not what we need to do here. We need to keep it in the body. It's very important because that mystical stuff ends up, it's kind of like inflation. That's probably the way to put it. And if you keep it in your body as a process, body, paint, 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 body, medium. Do this. Don't go off in the clouds. You can't do anything with it like that. Do you want to see how easy it is to unload all the crap in your head onto a piece of butcher paper? This is a new way of doing morning pages. And strangely, it underpins what a lot of non-objective abstraction really comes from. You can take this and turn it into all sorts of things like this. Some people do morning pages with a pen and a paper or a typewriter, but you can also do this. And there's a lot to be said about how much more powerful it is to put your expressions and your download of all that junk in your head into the physical form, where you don't actually have to rationalize anything. You just action it out. And it's in a very safe way and it's cheap. You can use a bit of butcher paper like that on an easel. If you don't have an easel, you could just do it in a sketchbook. It doesn't matter. On the kitchen table with some cheap kids' paints or crayons, anything. It works. It's really good. And the crazy thing is that this sort of stuff can be transformed into amazing abstract paintings or even figurative, expressive type abstracts. I'm going to do at least 6 of these every day for the next week and just see what the results are. And then I'm going to look at what I can do with them afterwards. Now, this is how I do it. If it's like Julia Cameron's morning pages, then it's a purge, right? How you do this is up to you. It's completely up to you. For me, as an artist, all my artist life has been therapeutic. I really did do art for therapy. And when I moved away from that and started to do my art in a more, illustrative way to demonstrate something, it moved it away from that, even though it was very popular. And so I want to get back to that. And the only problem with that is that you've got to find a way that expresses that really well. And using a much more refined approach in the images that you make, it doesn't capture the immediacy of feelings, this urgency of the emotions that we have. It is, in a way, yes, it's a form of art therapy, but so is the morning pages exercise where, you wake up every morning and the first thing you do is spew your brain out on a piece of paper, and write 2 or 3 pages of whatever is coming out. And it's not a diary. It's meant to just be like a purge, anything and everything. When I used to do that, my morning pages would turn into spreadsheets sometimes, and other times it'd be a business plan, and other time it'd just be me saying, I'm sick of this, so that's the idea. And this way, though, is a different idea, and it's just literally to purge what's in your head, no matter what it is, no matter how irrational it seems, into this exercise. But you've got to do a lot, and you've got to do them fast, right? So I have been practicing doing this for a few days, and I just let it go. I just let the things that are worrying me out on this thing. And it means that you've got to be completely honest. I'm filming it to keep me honest about it. And that's why I'm sharing this exercise, because the things that are bothering me in my psyche, you could listen to me telling you these things and you might reckon I'm paranoid or a lunatic or something. So what? It doesn't matter. And that is what I'm trying to show. It's that it doesn't matter. It could be petty. It could be deep. It could be ridiculous. Like, why are you worrying about that? It's usually we're mindful. All it is an expression of my actual personality and the kind of things that tie up my mind. And you know what? It's not invalid. What ties up your mind is actually you exercising your true self. So, when people say purge everything out, fine, get rid of all the junk. But at the end of the day, you're still left with the core of who you are. And the kind of junk that you accumulate will be based on the kind of person you are. So let's get to it. I'm just going to go for it. I might speak now and again and tell you what I'm doing or what's in my mind, and I'll struggle and carry on, but mostly I'll probably cut out the talking and just do fast forwards. Woody and charcoal. I've also got some water-based crayons as well. This paper is so thin, it's just packaging paper. It's not about that. This is not an artwork, Helen. This is not an artwork. Just keep telling yourself what's in my head right now. I've actually already got through half the morning, so it's probably a bit worn out. Because I'm so scattered, I can't even think of anything. Oh yeah, I know. Something that was bothering me this morning. I was reading about this mist that's going all over everywhere, and people are speculating about what it is, if it's microchippy things, or whether it's pollution being trapped in the air, and the media's on fire, changing their story. Well, let's get going. Okay, so we've got all these little things coming out of the air, these little particles in the fog coming down on the people. The people are, what's going on? Look at it. What is it? And it's coming, and China, the big sun, it's happening there, and at the same time they're telling them that there's a virus. There's a virus coming, it's coming, and then the media where's the media? The barking dogs. They're going, yap, 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 yap. Yap, 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 telling everybody they're trying to toot into people's ears. Woohoo! The squirrels, and these people are raging, and they're not sure. And I'm going to go over to painting dogs, and they're all barking at everybody. And the big sun, I haven't got any colours here. And these people are just terrified. Their eyes are looking up like that. What is that? That's the mouth of the dog. And then there's this medical emergency that keeps the media and the pharmacy, they keep pumping this medical emergency. There's like alarms going off, and they keep doing it, and everyone's going, look at that. Look, they're all pointing to the sky. And out of there is coming something that people are really confused about. And it looks bad, it looks scary. These people, they're running everywhere. And then we need to have some confusion and darkness. It's raining down on them everywhere. It's raining down, the big mouths screaming. There we go, coming out of the night, sunshine and night at the same time. The sun, it's like a sun, but it's a burning thing. Got really figurative there, which I didn't really want to do. It's a mess, isn't it? But I literally directly wanted to only say what was in my mind. That's the number one picture was, this is something that I was listening to this morning that was really getting at me, and how vulnerable we all are in this. So it's just a mess. I'm not even really looking at the picture itself. All right, let's do another one. Bloody newspaper, it's got all these freaking colours all over it these days. It's hopeless. Newspaper's great because it just so has no value, and it's really thin. I'm just going to go in with just paint only. I'm trying to let my feelings about that go, not looking at the picture. That's it. That's all I want to do on that. And that was just literally, it was just feelings. And I closed my eyes and I was trying to actually pick up on the energy. So where the energy was coming from, the negative and the positive, and it wasn't any positive, it was all terror. And that was, I guess you could say, you could almost see images in here. You can see like what looks like a big eye, and then these strokes, like something coming from above and a scream and then this darkness down below. So I don't know, that's just how it kind of felt. But that is an image. That's good enough. And that was an emotional response to the previous one, which was more me kind of, doing a silly drawing and in a very naive way to try and just express what I was feeling. I'm just going to close my eyes now and allow an image to form, just a shape. I'm only after a shape. And I know there's different sun rays coming in. I can see like that. All right, so it looks like a bit of nonsense, doesn't it? But that is the image that was inside me. It might be the inside of my eyelids. See, the thing is I suppose we're always trying to get busy all the time, aren't we? We're trying to fill things up instead of just leaving them a little bit unfinished. What if I just left it like that? What about if I did something like normal people and I was going to impart a feeling about the garden or my farm or out there? I'm looking around at the trees and the distant paddocks and cows and my neighbour's cows, my sheep. How could I create this big abstraction where we have, and this is me being kind of symbolic because I've got the hills in the distance, lots of trees. Activity down here, the animals, lots of animals, and there's always plenty of animals down here. And the legs going, there's birds, black cockatoos we have. So the big is barking. And see, I'm already going into like figurative notions, but if I started like that, and then what about trees? And I still feel like I need to have, because when I was like a central point of interest somewhere, like in the actual composition, like here or somewhere in the golden triangle. But I'm just using this to create lines, and all I'm doing is thinking about these things. These animals, the ears, cheap little beaks here, bird tails, and the lines. Okay, so if I leave that there and then I take some colour, it's good. I'm going to lose my drawing, so just fix a little bit. I'll keep it. Right, I'll just hold it a little bit. And I think I need to get some more colours. Got some blue, touches of blues. My drawing's gone almost, isn't it? But that doesn't matter because this whole thing is about the memories that emerged initially and where it goes from there. Hotel opportunities. Reason or excuse to throw some red into the top. I'm surprised it hasn't torn. I think that's enough. Now that went very strangely because once I hit the colour on there, I forgot about the core thing that set it off, which was just me thinking about where I live, my farm. When I came back at it with paint, I just gave up on the drawing underneath. So you can see the elements. I loved how they just stayed as God's rough draft. First initial thoughts on what the blazes am I going to make today. I was informed by images and narratives in my mind. Whatever happens to you, And this is what happens to me. I don't seem to be able to change it. When I try to be non-objective, it feels like fraud. That is really weird. I'm not trying to be judgmental. I love other people's non-objective paintings so much. I envy it. I just can't seem to do it. I'll keep trying, don't worry, because it is a challenge. But for me, when I do it, it feels fraudulent. This is kind of proof of who you really are. It's like you can't, it doesn't mean I don't love that work in other people. I just can't seem to, it's just not what's in my mind. And that's where I think this is just an amazing process, creating art to actually understand who you are. So going through these exercises could actually reveal that for you. Just try to do this one step at a time with me. All right, let's do another one. Now, I'm going to try and do a non-objective painting, so stand by. I'm going to use up everything on my palette just to get rid of it. Do some crazy drawings. Here we go. Some green. Well, that's a non-objective painting. I didn't think, I just acted. You know, I'm just going to stay with this feeling thing, and I feel like it needs some, I want to stay with yellows and greens, and I really love this green gold. It's got a whole lot of yellows in here. Okay, let's go. I really kind of feel like I would like to let these blacks dry a bit first. And that is a successful, well, whatever you call success. That is a non-objective painting, and I did it. Wow. I'm going to do another one and free myself. Red. Red. I've got all this green on my palette. The part of the painting process I love the most is my underpaintings. And I kept referring back to it, how the energy that I'm able to put into those is just, I love it. I feel alive. I want to paint. But then when I get to the further stages where I have to refine everything, it just bogs me down. And the process, I'm not a process person. And I know some artists really love that part of the artwork, but it isn't really who I am. It doesn't mean I'm a lesser artist. It just means I'm forcing myself to be doing a process that doesn't inspire me. Now, I know life's full of that, but when you're an artist, you're supposed to actually try and find who you are and to stay in that high state of you at your best. That's really the key, is to understand what that is for you. And it's not the same for everyone. For my particular personality, the high state is that really vigorous, energetic state of painting and creating and expressing myself. I keep coming back to knowing yourself, and this process here is all about trying to understand who you are through what you enjoy doing. All right, so I'm going to keep going with this because I think that by following this very non-objective, abstract method, I could find my way out of the mess I'm in as a painter. What's going on here is that somewhere in my mind, even though this is again a non-objective thing, I'm just responding to the colour and what I'm seeing here, you know, these forms and things that are there or not there. There's this thing pulsing in the back of my mind. It's like a little voice that has sensibilities, and it's saying eyes. Well, I say eyes, but it's demanding a solid dark form. If I speak, I speak honestly about what it's saying to me. Perhaps a non-objective artist would say solid dark form, and yet for me, eyes. And it's just that there's like this organising principle going on in the back of my brain. I think I'd like to deepen the red. Oopsie daisy, I got a little extra texture. I've got this idea. This one is based on a word that I read somewhere yesterday. They were talking about the banks, my favourite subject, and the big central banks and what they were up to with private banks. That's right. They were coming up with some concept that would, so if there was ever a banking disaster, this new rule they were inventing for themselves would shield these people from being identified in the case of causing a great collapse. Oh, talk about looking after yourself. And the word the guy used, the name of the article was Nefarium. Not nefarious, but Nefarium. So I love that word so much I wrote it in my sketchbook. So this painting is going to be based on the word Nefarium. Nefarium. Okay, so here I'm using a word and I'm trying to think of a feeling, and I want to kind of be partially, you can't be non-objective if you've already got an objective thought in your head, but I just want to do whatever it is that I do, but I want it to be more immediate. So what are these nefarious buggers up to? We need a big structure, like a sort of, this is their bank. Right? Start with that and we'll just start with these secret. I just need to go to paint. So I've got this purple, the lines that go through the pillars, the beautiful manicured grass. Then inside this house of hell is all this red area. This is this where the hell is. Purple ones, purple, always under the disguise of some noble colour. Blue. It's all dripping down with lines and deception. Well, I actually feel that that's quite all right on its own. It's turned into, it was like a temple that they have created for themselves, but then it sort of formed into, it's like this, with his helmet on with his nip and his eyes and nose and ears sticking out the side like some silly puppet. Well, you know, it could do with a little bit of colour refinement. Let's have a look. Probably lighten up that green a little bit in a few places. Okay, that's it. That's my last one for the day. Nefarium. I like it. I guess if I hadn't been filming, I probably would have spent about an hour doing these exercises. It's been really exciting and I've had a good time and I'm going to keep doing it. So there's my Nefarium. Based on just where I live, I was purging some content about the mysterious fog. That was one I did earlier, just completely out of my head. That was a non-objective abstract, where I closed my eyes, I could see inside my mind. George has been helping me the entire time. I guess what you're looking at here is the trash from my brain. I've emptied the trash.